We're here.
My man, Alan Houston.
It's different this time.
What's up, guys?
This loss hurts so much.
They all do, but again, it's our fault. It's our fault. We keep getting. I told you, can't trust these leads anymore. We get these leads. It's funny because in previous seasons, we used to be more worried about this, but this season is proving to be, especially the second half, we're just losing leads. We're losing focus. End of the third quarter, up 13 points in the third. You can't finish that quarter down. Especially these games. This is a different level of basketball we're playing right now, right? These teams, even some of the teams that are bad, once you get into the second half of the season, teams know each other a bit more. Teams go on runs. Again and again, I'm watching our offense just get super sloppy down the stretch. We stop focusing. In no time, they come back. And then down the stretch, we couldn't execute. I hate our offense late. I mean, let me give credit to the guys. Another really good game played overall. Great energy, especially the beginning.
Right.
But we're seeing some of the same things come up. Obviously, we don't have the best talent in the world, right? So we don't have a bunch of closers. But you gotta say, in the fourth quarter, we get into too much ISO. It's like your turn, my turn. You just don't see the ball movement you were seeing before, and we fall late to the nets.
You know, the thing is, we had an opportunity to really win this game because the Nets, who have clearly stacked up their team for injuries, that's what I'm realizing has actually happened right now. And I actually wonder if more teams in the league are going to start doing this. Basically, they stack their team so deep that it doesn't matter when a superstar is out because they're all superstars, and it actually encourages Kyrie tonight to step up even more, knowing that both Harden and Durant are out, right? So it's actually kind of like a way for each of them to shine if someone's out. So I'm so disappointed with this loss, man, because like you said, we started off great first half, actually. And one of the things that I attribute the really good first half to was the low amount of turnovers that we had. Right? I've noticed that when we have low turnovers is when we're just, well, I know it makes sense to just say that, right? But clearly, you know, when you turn the ball over, it means that you're starting to get a little sloppy and you're kind of losing focus. So that first half was great. And even watching what I thought I saw early too was like Derrick Rose and Taj Gibson really stepping up, because those guys know how to play against this type of team. This is a playoff team they're playing against. This is the number one team on the Eastern Conference they're playing against. So you needed that veteran leadership to kind of set the tone, you know, and then take us off. And we were doing really well. We had that 17-2 run towards the end of the second quarter. And then the third quarter came and we were still doing okay. And then we just lost it towards the end. And a team like this, the Nets, they know how to take advantage of that, you know?
Yeah, they're hungry for that. You know, you can't let these teams back in the game. We paid for it again. Sloppy basketball in the third. For us, it's when we're moving the ball and we're not turning it over, things look so good. We started this game so well. I was impressed. We came out ready to play. We're moving the ball well. It felt like, you know, we beat up on the Pistons in the last game. And it felt like that momentum, even though it was a better opponent, carried over, right? We were just flowing early. It was great. Get to the third quarter, you start getting a little bit tight, start getting a little bit sloppy. Offense start moving the ball as well. The Nets start chipping away at the lead. And then once you're in a back and forth with the Nets, the way Kyrie is, you're always going to lose that game, right? Yeah. Kyrie is incredible. You saw we had to double team him, and the double teaming worked a little bit late. But on that big three that he hit over Elfrid Payton, I don't know why they didn't double. If you look at the video, I want to put this on Payton specifically, but he did a wave off the double team. I guess he felt like he had him. I was really annoying to see because the very next play, we double team him and he throws the ball away. Right. So it's like the double teaming, as much as he scored 40 points tonight, when we double teamed, it was kind of working. So why go away from that then? And I feel so many of these losses are coming down to just poor execution in specific moments, right? Whether it's Tibbs leaving a lineup in there too long and not trusting the bench enough sometimes, right? Or whether it's us coming out of a timeout and you would think we'd have a really good play coming out of the timeout, but then the play doesn't look like we practiced anything. Even the last shot, I don't want to go too much in on the last shot. You only have 3.7 seconds. But that's not too little time where you wouldn't expect something different. We gave it to Julius. He kind of ISO'd and took a fadeaway mid-range jumper. That's a tough shot. I was actually hoping, I think Burks inbounded it. I was actually hoping for the ball to go into Julius, then back to Burks. And I kind of wanted to see Burks take the last shot. Yeah. You know? So it's like, I want to see I feel like we get into these moments and we get a little bit tight, and I feel like sometimes we come out of timeouts and we don't execute like we should.
Yeah. Burks obviously clutch, man. Like when he scored, I was like, oh my goodness, we're gonna go into overtime. I was so excited. I was like, we're going into overtime. So and that didn't happen. But yeah, like we need to close games. That's really kind of what it boils down to. We need to be able to close games. We need to be able to have these guys execute plays that are going to score, and that we're going to we're going to get the points. I don't know what else to say, because
let's talk about Julius tonight again. Another triple double after years of not having guys who can get triple doubles. Julius doing it all again, still forcing things sometimes, but overall, I don't know what more you can ask for him, because you can see he's just carrying a crazy load. But in the fourth quarter, I have to admit, Julius isn't very good in the clutch. I don't think it's that he's getting nervous or he's freezing up. I think it's just more his skill set, right? He doesn't have a perimeter guy next to him who's elite and can help close. Right. So you can see they key in on him, and he's very prone to the turnover, losing the ball here, taking a bad shot. And we saw in the fourth quarter a couple times just some iffy clutch play from Julius, and some bad shot selection at times. But I just felt like once we got to the fourth quarter, the clutch, it just feels like hopefully this guy can get it done. It doesn't feel like there's any actual plan as a team to execute. Right. I know it's like a common trope in the NBA. It's like, oh, well, you make plays happen all game long, then in the fourth, you just give it to your star guy. Why don't you just keep running plays? Right. But the thing is, a team like this, we do need to still get some kind of motion going. When guys are just passing the ball and ISOing, and it's your turn to ISO, it's just not putting the defense on their heels enough. We don't have that many great offensive weapons. The Nets, they're going to be doing that in the clutch. They're going to be like, KD, you try. James, you try. Kyrie, you try. But they can do that, clearly. Yeah. So it's something I want to see more of. I do want to shout out Reggie Bullock, because he has been incredible since the All-Star break. Hitting his threes at a crazy level. Had almost a great defensive play on Kyrie late. I'm loving everything about Reggie right now.
Yeah, I mean, look at these stats right there. That's what we want. That's what we want. You know?
He said, I was going to say, he said it was the second, I believe they said only the third time in his career he's had 20-point games back-to-back. I put out a tweet the other day. He's shooting 45% from three. It's even higher after tonight. He's coming out in the first quarters every game and getting us 3-pointers, it feels like, every game. Reggie's starting off so hot. And him and Randall have a really nice action off the Randall screen. Randall drawing the defender, set a quick screen, and Reggie takes the three. We've seen it happen a million times. So I'm loving that chemistry building. Also want to talk about RJ really quickly. I love that he made a couple really clutch jumpers late. We're talking about getting something close.
At the right time, right? At the right time. And, you know, I used to always say that RJ has a poker face. But I take that back, because RJ has this little scowl that he gives. And I'm seeing that confidence in him. Regardless of what he's doing, he's playing confident. So I like that with him. That's not faltering. So and he's still, he's the second best player on the team at this point.
Yeah, definitely that Kobe scowl. Yeah, the thing with RJ is Anthony Edwards called him out after the Minnesota game when he missed. He basically said, we wanted RJ to take the shot, and it wasn't. Anthony Edwards is very honest. I don't think he was actually taking a shot at RJ. I just think he's someone who. He's almost too honest when he says things.
What I think they were saying, yes, they wanted RJ to get it, but what I think they were saying more so than that was that they did not want Julius to get it. Like their whole goal was that Julius is not going to get the ball, so that if RJ got it, even if he made the point, they were okay with that. That's what he said, I think, in the quote, right? That they were okay. Yeah. If RJ made the shot.
Not OJ.
They would have not OJ. They would have been okay with that. That was the play, right? And that's kind of what you're talking about. I know it's a different scenario, but kind of what you're talking about at the end of this game, right? Like what was the play? What was the play supposed to be for them to get points? Well,
I didn't love the late game execution, but RJ, under the tweet about it a couple of days ago, he posted a laughing emoji. So obviously it was on his mind, and they asked him about it. I think earlier today, and he said, I can't wait for the rematch or whatever. So it was so good tonight to see him get in the mid-range and hit like 3 clutch jumpers. That fadeaway one along the baseline was crazy. RJ gets into that. He's going to be a closer for us eventually, just not now. So we fall under 500 yet again. This season is going to be a grind the rest of the way. It's going to be us over and then back down. honestly, I feel we just need to be 500 the rest of the way. But it's a tough schedule, and you can see the season is wearing on the guys a little bit. You can see that it's definitely getting to a little bit.
Of course it is. We play the Celtics on Wednesday at 7:30, and we're starting to play. Like you said, we're in the second half of the season. A lot of these teams in the first part of the season, they kind of just do their thing. It's not even it's like very laissez-faire. And now is when they actually come in. It's a long, even though I know this season is shortened, it's still a lot of games. It's a lot of travel. It's a lot of stuff going on. COVID protocol on top of that. So these teams now are the veteran teams that the Knicks are going to have to be playing against. And we got to win. I hate when we lose games so close that would winnable games.
Yeah, it feels like almost every loss this season was actually a winnable.
It does.
All right, we go down 3-0 against the Nets, and I will say, as much as I'm kind of proud of the guys tonight, I will admit, if you're missing KD and Harden, like you kind of want to be winning this game, especially because of where we are. We need to win these games. Alas, not to be. All a learning experience. Remember that this season, despite the winning and despite the hopes we have and the excess joy we have, it was never really about this. The Knicks have already achieved what they needed to this season, right? They played solid basketball. The young guys have grown, right? And they've shown that there's a blueprint and a path for the future. So as much as we get caught up in these wins, what's really going to be big for us is the draft and free agency, because this should be the year the Knicks take this foundation and take a serious step forward. So yes, it's annoying in the moment, but keep the big picture in mind. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Peace.